Hello?
Hi, Rains.
Holy cow, are we blowing everything out? I'm sorry if we've destroyed your ears. I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry. There we go. Okay.
Hey, guys.
This is a crazy new way of doing things.
Hello. Cool. All right,
Hello,
so,
everyone. Hello to all the brains.
I know. Hi, guys. We're getting married on Friday. Hi.
Not nervous, not anxious, not running like crazy.
Thank you guys for coming to the live stream. We knew that it would be impossible to get an episode up this week. Even Edward knew, and he's ambitious. But we wanted to connect with you guys anyway because it's just been really an exciting year, and I don't know, you guys have become like family. This tribe has become like family, so we wanted to share the event with you. We won't, unfortunately, be able to live stream the actual wedding because it's taking place outside in a place where there is not Wi-Fi.
Which I was against from the beginning. I would just like to say anywhere where there's not Wi-Fi,
right?
I am against from the beginning.
But it's really pretty. It's in a rose garden and stuff, so it'll be nice. But yeah, we thought we'd do a live stream early to connect with you guys, and if you're interested, we'll also do a vlog afterwards. So we will film some things on the day and leading up to the day, and if you guys want to see that, it won't be right away because we're going to go on our honeymoon right afterward. But yeah, when we get back, we'll put together a vlog of the actual wedding and stuff.
Yeah. Like the other vlogs that we did, which, by the way, I want to say...
Lauren says, no Wi-Fi, quite the commitment.
You know we're both entering into a real thing. And we're like, to me, that's the modern definition of true love. Like, is this a person you'd hang out with if there was no Wi-Fi?
Aw. Sign-in queuer, I know. I wish the live streams had captions/subtitles, too.
What's up?
I gotta get on that. But we have been reaching out to people about subtitles. If anybody's able to subtitle, please do. I appreciate you hanging around while we try and figure that out because I just usually don't. Aww.
I'm sorry, I was interpreting it.
That was sweet.
I'm super rusty. Super rusty.
Kate wants to know, did Jessica get a fancy dress? Jessica did get a fancy dress. We ended up doing a pretty small wedding because we realized it's crazy to spend a lot of money on a big wedding. But before we decided that, I went out and bought a dress, and so I have a really nice dress at our very small wedding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it. You guys will get to see. We'll post pictures and stuff. I'm sure I'll post it on Facebook and Twitter and all over the place because it's exciting. But yeah, you guys, anybody who's asking for subtitles, that is something we're working on.
Yeah.
And we're even working on, there's somebody who offered to help us put videos like on Chinese social media because they use things other than YouTube there. And so we are trying to reach out. We're trying to make our videos as accessible to everybody as possible. We just need help because it's a lot of work to make these videos. We spend like anywhere from 40 to 80 hours per video, which we're going to work on, right? Like that's too many hours to spend on a video, but it is so much work that we end up not having time to subtitle and translate and all of that. So any help that we can get with that is much appreciated.
By the way, can I just say, like, I know that the TEDx vlog took a long time to put out. And
I hadn't noticed.
Right. But I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you being patient with that because to me, it was such an important video to get right.
Oh, sound's out.
Oh, sound is out?
Yeah, apparently.
Hello?
Janica Diane asks, can we help you with translations? Yes, absolutely. I will post something on Facebook. We might be able to post it here as well, but I'll post something on Facebook. There's actually a link that you can go to see which videos have been captioned. Oh, everybody else is saying sound is fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you can see which videos have been captioned and which haven't.
You
guys are amazing.
But there was a thing I was saying. There was a thing I was saying, which was I know it took a long time to get that TEDx vlog out, but it was so important because I got to be witness to Jessica's experience through that whole thing, and it was such a powerful, moving experience just to be there as a witness to everything that she did.
We did.
Well, but both. You know what I mean? Like for both of us. But especially just getting to see there and watch you do that. It was incredible. And I'm just very grateful you guys gave me the time to make that thing what I wanted to be. And I think the video kind of represents how it felt to be there.
Yeah, that video did really represent the experience of it. It was a lot of work and a lot of and a lot of crying and a lot of, I don't know, it went really well. So I'm excited about that. I can't tell the name of it because it's not for real yet.
What? Oh, right. Yeah. No, we don't have a name.
We're working on a name for it. We're trying to run names by the TEDx organizers, but we think that they're close to being done. So hopefully in September, which is coming up very, very shortly. That video will be released, our TEDx talk.
So real quick, guys, if you're listening on headphones or anything like that, or if you have your sound turned way up, I'd like you to just get your hands on the sound now, because I've been told it sounds a little quiet. So I'm going to up it on our end, but before I do that, I wanted to give you guys the chance to know that I'm about to do that. So I'm going to turn the sound up in 3, 2, 1, and now the sound is turned up. So let's see how that works. Got that for me?
You guys are so sweet. I'm seeing a lot of messages saying that you helped us a lot and stuff. I'm so happy, because life with ADHD can be really fun. It can also be really challenging. And if we're making it at all easier, then that's why we're here. I want to see my tribe succeed, and I want to be able to. I'm emotional. I want to be able to help. Yeah, it's just an emotional week with the wedding, and like this work is so meaningful to me, and I'm glad that I get to do it. Oh, yay. Yeah, the ASCII brains are grateful to you for the warning.
Yeah.
And everybody with headphones in, I'm sure.
They're saying, it did nothing, Edward. It did nothing.
So, hi, guys. So, all right. So, first of all, this live stream, I'll be mostly answering questions. We will be answering questions about our relationship, ADHD relationships in general, our wedding, what it's like to try and plan something that ginormous when you have ADHD. Pretty much any questions you guys have. Right now I'm reading from the live stream, but Superbrain, aka Izza, she was a moderator on this channel like almost from the beginning, and she quickly became more than that. She started messaging me with topic ideas and helping me with scripts. Like, I'll send her my scripts and I'll be like, does this make sense? And she'll be like, yeah, but and she'll give me a bunch of notes, and they'll be really good notes. And because she's been here from the beginning, she knows you. She knows this community. She's, when she first started, she read every single message. She responded to every single question. Like, she has just been there to the point where people think she's a bot that we created to help us with the show. She's that fast and that on top of it. And she has been so unbelievably helpful that we are officially promoting her.
Yes. She is officially,
yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is Superbrain is going to
and then we have to mention Dukkha as well.
Of course, yes. So Superbrain has now been sort of promoted to, yes, Superbrain is like, I am not a robot. You're the only person who's passing the Turing test the other way. Anyway, Superbrain has been...
they want to know if you can be in the corner as an interpreter instead of having captions.
just all the time. Just...
That's amazing.
Anyway, no, she's been promoted to the volunteer community manager.
Yes, she is now our community manager officially, which means a lot of things.
She
does a lot of things behind the scenes. I call her like a Swiss Army knife, because pretty much anytime I'm like, I need help, she's like, what do you need help with? I will help you.
And not just that, but like, she is so incredibly... She's involved in the community on a level that even we don't necessarily have the opportunity to be. Like, she's there, she sees your comments, she's listening to what you guys are saying. And
she lets me know. She'll be like, I'll be like, I'm thinking of these 3 topics. And she's like, do this one. That's what people have been asking for. And by the way, you also promised you'd do this. So, like, all the things that I would normally drop the ball on, she helps me catch that. Unfortunately, time is still a limited resource, as you guys might have seen in the last video. And I can't do everything that I want to do, or at least when I want to do it. But Izza makes sure that, like, at least the most important things come to my attention. Things like subtitles that people have been asking for subtitles. She brought that to my attention, so that helped me understand that I needed to start working on that. So more than that, she, from the beginning, has really been shaping this community and making it the positive, helpful place that it is. And I just want to recognize her. And also Dukkha Heart. So yes. Dukkha doesn't have ADHD, but she's a heart. She supports Izza. Mm-hmm. She supports people with ADHD, and she has kept Izza sane, I think is her official job description. Mm-hmm. But we're calling her now assistant community manager. Anytime Izza needs help with something, Dukkha has been there to help her. And so I just want to acknowledge that, because without these 2 amazing ladies, the channel would not be, it would not have grown as fast as it has, and it would not be as like lovely a community. I think they really set the tone for it, and you guys, to your credit, followed suit. And everybody here is so wonderful. Like, I read a comment today that was like, This is an oasis. Like, this comment section is an oasis in the middle of a desert. I'm not sure that's exactly how they said it, but something like that.
And Superbrain is a huge part about that. By the way, friends, I've been told the audio is still quite low. I'm going to pause, but we're coming back to Superbrain, okay?
Okay.
The audio is still quite low, so I'm going to apply a gain, which means, again, in about 3 seconds, I'm going to turn the volume up possibly. So put your hands on your audio, everyone, and we're going to go in 3, in 2, hands on the audio, and 1, audio gain. Now, let's see how that works.
Hi, guys. What's so cool is, like, I know all you guys. I'm reading everybody's names, and I'm like, I love this. Really quickly, is it normal to get angry very quickly if you have ADHD? Yes. That's called emotional impulsivity. Very, very common.
I think I did that like 3 times today.
Yeah, I did an episode about that. It's anger and ADHD. I don't know the exact title off the top of my head, but okay. But we are going to get to the questions that are submitted through the document. So
yes. So allow me to reach out to them. Oh, I paused, but I want to go back to saying that Superbrain and Dukkha are incredibly, incredibly crucial to everything that is happening here,
and not bots.
And they are not bots, even though they are faster than bots many times.
They are. They beat the bots.
So we're clear, because I saw some confusion. They're volunteers right now, because technically we can't afford to
Wait,
work.
do we know our Hogwarts houses?
Do we know
Sorry,
our Hogwarts
I keep getting
houses?
distracted by the live
stream. Hold on. I'm gonna get back to that. I feel this is important. They are super important. They are not yet like employees, but they are as close to employees as we've got. Like, they are some of the most important people on the channel. And the reason why we're able to stay connected to what you guys are doing, besides the fact that Jessica and I read a lot of comments, is they are also in the comments every day. So they're talking and they're finding out stuff, and they're really trying to stay connected to the community, and we appreciate that so much. So
Isa gets on top of me for playlists. Also, Superbrain has a channel. If you guys want, she creates way more playlists than I do, so check out her channel, subscribe to her channel, and you can get her playlists as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And yeah, it was just important that we acknowledge them, because they've been such a huge part of this community. And, you know, since they're not in the episodes, people don't necessarily know how much they do. And I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Okay, let's see. We have some questions if you would like to read some questions. All right, would you like to read some questions?
Yeah. So so we're gonna do questions. Any more questions? Like, I'll also kind of scan through this, but mostly send the questions that you definitely want answered to the link in the description.
And Superbrain and Dukkha have the links. So if you guys don't have them, get there, and I'm sure she will make it.
Also, quick shout out to Scott Melville. If you guys don't know, we have a website now. What?
Oh my gosh, Scott's also...
Yeah, Scott has been supporting us from the beginning on Patreon, and now you guys can see his name in like the end of like every episode ever.
Yeah.
But beyond that, he's built us a website. So it's, I'll type it, howtoadhd.com. There you go.
What I really appreciate is that you felt like that would be too difficult to just say.
Like, you guys might not remember.
I better type it just in case.
Who knows?
No, that's awesome.
So yeah, there you go. Thanks, Isa.
So there we are.
All right, so let's answer some questions.
All right, let's do some questions. Okay. And
Master Cody is also helping with moderating for this
live
stream. So right. I feel so honored that everybody's helping.
Okay, so let me ask the first question of you, which is: would you like to start with wedding questions? Would you like to start with ADHD questions?
Surprise me.
Surprise you?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
I haven't read any of these questions.
Okay, so Gamer Girl.
Oh God, Rochelle is here. She's also so helping.
She's so offended. And she's so offended.
Like, so many people in this live stream right now help in some way or in one way or another. But yeah, Rochelle Leducky is also here, and she is our resident nurse in training. She's going to school for to be a nurse, so she helps me out if I have medical questions or need research and things like that.
And Patrick LeCount, who does a bunch of you guys do.
I'm so lucky.
There are just a lot of people who work really hard to make this happen, and they all deserve appreciation for that. Yeah.
This is a stone soup. I showed up and I was like, hey, I've got this great stone, and I'm going to make this amazing soup. I just need some carrots.
Exactly. But it's just, we wanted to take a second to recognize Superbrain and Dukkha, because they do a lot of work that's kind of behind the scenes. Like, we haven't really gotten rolling on the website yet, but when we do, I think we definitely are going to put Scott forward on that. And and obviously we've already featured Patrick in videos before.
Yeah, yeah.
So we just wanted to do a shout out to both Superbrain and Doka. You guys crush, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Yay! Promotions. Okay.
Okay. So let's go. And they're saying the audio is still quiet, and I'm honestly not sure what to do about that. So
Thank you, Hannah. Hannah Dietrich is making my veil. And in true ADHD fashion, it's wedding's in 4 days, and she does not live in the same city as me, and it is not finished. But she is madly sewing it. Thank you, Hannah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's do some questions.
Yes, let's do questions. I want to get through as many questions as we can.
Yeah, we will not be able to get to all the questions, but we'll do as many questions as we can.
Audio is better when I lean over the mic. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's probably just generally true. Yes.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Kristen, we're happy to help you avoid homework. Tell your parents it's for a good cause. All right, questions.
Here we go. Gamer girl Rina asks, I'm getting married too. How do you maintain focus for the years plus? I'll talk into it. Yeah. For the years plus that you're engaged and not, say, accidentally spend all of your wedding budget on Game Boys or a car or just forget to finish all the planning that you started?
Funny question. We actually planned a whole different wedding, like, as soon as we got engaged. And, like, I bought the dress for it, and, you know, we had...
I think we got the only two things
we picked out the venue, and we figured out, like, the caterer and stuff like that. And then we were like...
we got the...
Yeah, and we got the honeymoon, and then we were like, wait, why are we spending all this money on a wedding? And so we completely revamped everything, and we're like, we're going to do a simple wedding, and it's going to be in a rose garden, and it's going to be something small. And then we got distracted by VidCon and TEDx and trying to keep up with the videos at the same time and all this stuff. We got back from TEDx, and we were like, oh my God, we're getting married in 6 weeks. We have to plan a wedding. So the answer to that is I don't know how to not get distracted.
Well, it helps if you already live with the person because you're kind of like reminded, oh, right, we're going to be marrying. So that is easier.
That helps a little bit. But to be honest, like, we had to plan again from scratch. And honestly, thank goodness that ADHDers are great at doing things last minute because...
Oh, I was not stressed. I was like,
yeah, stressed at all.
This is going to be great.
I'm slightly more stressed. I think in terms of, like, time management, I'm slightly better than Edward is, and so I can see the train coming, like, long before he can.
I'm walking down the track with blindfold on, man.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we're fine. I'm like, no, there's definitely a train coming. We should probably get off this track. He's like, it'll be fine. But he keeps me sane. But yeah, that's the answer to that question is I don't know how to not get distracted. Because I did.
But the other part of the question was, how do you maintain focus? Well, I guess you don't. Yeah,
I didn't. I totally got distracted by other projects, and then when it was 6 weeks to the wedding, I was like, we have to plan a wedding. So, apologies that was not more helpful.
This is okay. I'm gonna try and keep this moving because we have to be out by around 7 our time, which is about an hour and 20 from now, because I still have to go get my suit fitted. So either that or I'll look like I'm wearing like my dad's suit, like it'll be like super long.
Edward was legit like, do I have to get it tailored? I'm like, yes, you have to get your suit tailored. Like his suit is like 4 inches longer than his fingertips.
It's not that bad. It's like here, but sometimes.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
No, you gotta get it tailored.
This is a fantastic question from Jazz.
Okay.
Jazz.
This is exciting. I like getting the questions from here and then reading this as well.
Okay, so Jazz says, besides loving each other, why else will you marry? Congratulations.
Besides loving each other, why else will you marry?
I got lots of answers to that. I want to see what.
Okay. This is how I think of marriage. It's like officially committing to something.
Before you start, I'm gonna say this instead of doing it at the end. But the joke that I already want to say is what? That's what you think marriage is?
Your mom is here.
My mom is here?
Edward's mom is in the chat.
Oh my gosh.
Rob Newton is Robin Newton. That's Edward's mom. Oh my gosh, and my mom's here.
Holy cow,
in person.
Oh my god, is this like an intervention?
This is
Are
about
they
to
going to
get
tell us to
embarrassing.
stop YouTubing? And Celis is here. Hello all. No, so so the joke that I was going to do is no matter what you said about why you think we're getting married, I'd be like, oh, is that why? But I'm not going to do it. So please go ahead. What other reasons are we getting married, in your opinion?
Doodles Noodles goes, oh my god, mom takeover. Okay, I think of marriage as like, it's not like a happily ever after, like, that's the end of the story. To me, it's like, okay, once you're married, it's like saying, okay, we want to do this. We want to keep doing this thing that we're doing, but we're going to do it for longer and long-term enough that we can make decisions that are in the best interest of both people, like as a couple. So there might be times where Edward is like, I'm going to stop advancing my career so that I can help build yours, or vice versa, and you can take that risk, or, you can feel comfortable taking that risk knowing that they've got your back and you've got theirs. So what's good for one person is good for both people, if that makes sense. So you can really be a team and do what's best for the team instead of each person having to kind of make sure that they're okay on their own. So you can accomplish bigger things when you're married, when you're a couple like that, when you're a team, than you can individually, because you can just support each other in new ways. So I guess that's what it means to me. Yeah, I don't think I really worded that very well, but
no, I think you did.
But to me, I want to get married because there's nobody in the world that I'd rather have on my team.
Oh, you. For me, I think it's twofold. One is, to me, you get married because you find that one person, or there might be more than one, but we found each other, and I don't need to look. I don't need to look anymore. Mm-hmm. I think one aspect of it is that when you find that person you realize is kind of in sync with you on a foundational level, you know that no matter how you change or how you grow, you're gonna challenge each other. You're gonna keep encouraging each other to become your best selves and to grow and just to enjoy life. Like, you just know there's certain people who on a basic level you just see eye to eye, and even as you grow and change, you're still going to kind of come from the same place, and that's how I feel about you and me. And the second reason is you get to build the reason you get married is you get to build your own culture. Like we've said forever, like all the little practices, all the little habits, all the lingo, all the stuff that you make up with friends, like if you have two people who both agree with that, that's a culture. And that's all it needs for it to become a real thing that you actually do. And so yeah, I'm getting married so that I can have the culture of us.
Aww, that's awesome.
Aww.
Lipstick on your teeth.
Oh no!
Okay, cool.
Oh, by the way, everybody, just so you know, you do not need to spam your questions in the chat.
Yeah, we'll get them all.
Yeah, they will all be collected. We'll try and get through as many as possible, but spamming them either in the chat or in the at the link for the questions, which is where you should really be submitting your questions. It won't help. Like it goes into a
Jedward.
Jedward.
Hey, wait! How come I only get one letter and he gets his whole name?
Well, because you don't want to be Jed, do you?
No.
There you go. Just so you know, you don't have to spam it in the link either. Like it goes into a database, and then Superbrain and Duka have total access to it. We can see them, and they're going to go through and try and pick out the ones that we can answer as many as possible. So do not spam your questions. You don't have to. People can see them. All right.
Just submit them through the Google Doc in the link in the description.
The link.
I'm reading all the comments in the actual feed, which is really fun. But out of respect for people who submitted their questions, we're only going to answer questions from the actual doc now.
Yeah, let's try and do a lightning round. We'll do
lightning round.
Okay. Coral Armbruster says, how long have you guys been dating and then engaged? How long have you been dating and then engaged?
Ooh, okay. We're getting married on our 3rd anniversary, and we got engaged January 1st because he said, what did he say? You didn't want to go another year?
I didn't want to go another minute into the new year without you.
Aww.
Yes. How many guests will be attending our wedding? It started out at 50 and it's going down.
Yeah, somewhere between 40 to 50.
A lot of like
we sent out our invites late. So.
Super late. Oh gosh, so late. And also like a lot of my family lives not on the West Coast, so getting out here can be kind of tough. Although all of my immediate family is making the effort, they're coming out. But a lot of those like friends who are family are.
We're doing a pretty small wedding.
Oh, and that was by Steph, by the way. Steph asked how many guests. Let's see. How long did it take for you to plan your wedding? Up to this minute? I mean, like.
Honestly, it will be 6 weeks that it takes us to plan our wedding start to finish, and that's only because when we got back from TEDx, we were like, we're getting married in 6 weeks. We should really plan this. But I did already have my dress, so.
And
finding my dress took about a full weekend, I guess. I went to like...
And we were... Well, that was after I did a crazy search. You remember I did the...
Oh, well, yeah, there's the Pinterest search. Okay, Pinterest is dangerous, guys.
So wait, this is a 3-step process now that I remember. This was 3 steps. because you did
Oh,
Pinterest, and then
yeah.
I did the crazy detective work,
Yeah.
and then we found it, and then you went down. So you can tell.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
By the way,
Okay,
this
is lightning round. So
That's okay. Yeah.
gotta keep
So
going.
suffice to say, we did some work in January, and then when we got back from TEDx, we had to do more. So Laura, that is your question.
Yeah, about 6 weeks. While also doing other things, while also creating videos.
She also asked, did we engage any help, any outside help?
Yes. Oh God, yes. So
Groupon.
yeah. So a couple.
That's
of
not
things.
sponsored.
Yeah, a couple things. I reached out to Katie, which is your sister, is here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She's also in the chat. I reached out to her, and she is good at planning and organizing and things like that. She's also a heart, and
Aww.
so yeah. So I reached out to her at one point, and I was like, "There's so much to do," and Edward doesn't think there's a lot to do, but I know there's a lot to do, and I can't think of all of it. And he's like, "What is there to do?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I know that there's more than we have time for." And so she was like, "Talk to me." And so I called her, and we just had a conversation, and she was like, "Okay, what do you want to do? What are you thinking?" And I kind of told her, because I had all these ideas, right? We're great at ideas, but like actually putting them down on the paper can be challenging, and then breaking that down into what do I actually need to do to get this big idea accomplished. And so she was instrumental in that. Like I was like, I want charcuterie, like Italian meats and cheeses and stuff at the cocktail hour. And so she's like, okay. She sent me a whole list, because she's done catering before. She sent me like a whole list of things that you could have at a wedding for charcuterie, and she was like, taste them, pick them, and I'll tell you quantities. So I did, and I just did a Costco trip today, and got everything in the quantities that she told me to get it. So yeah, I think it's important to know what your strengths are, and know like that there are people who are willing and able to help and take advantage of that. And that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. Like I'm great at certain things. I'm not great at organizing, and that's okay. Like I can reach out to people who can help you with that. For a giant project like that, I recommend that to everybody. Like if you have somebody who's great at planning, go and spit all your giant ideas at them and have them help you get it down to paper.
Ask first.
Well, yeah. Probably don't be like, hey, you want to meet for coffee? Blah, 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 blah.
Also, in keeping with the lightning round, I did have.
Lightning round. Right.
We're not gonna do this, but Doodles Noodles did say, "Is Everett's whole family here?" And to answer your question, probably, but not for the reason you think. They're just enormous fans of her.
Mom, are you still here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
My mom's here too.
Come on in.
My mom came over to help.
I'm here. I'm right here.
You can come in if you want.
I'm here.
Okay. She's just hanging out. Okay, cool. No
Hanging.
problem. Okay, we're gonna be quick. Kaylee asks, how terrifying is getting married? More specifically, what is the scariest part about the whole process, in your opinion?
Ooh. Okay. The scariest part. It's been an emotional roller coaster, to be honest. Like, it's really exciting some days, and you're like, we went to go get our marriage license, and I was, we had to put down like what my new name will be, and for the purposes of this show, and professionally, I will still be Jessica McCabe, but for personal purposes, I will be Jessica Newton, and I was just like all glowy and excited about that.
That's still crazy.
Yeah, but then other times it's like really stressful, and you think of like, oh my gosh, I have to do this and this and this, and like I didn't think about this, and oh gosh, I have to spend money on this, and I wasn't expecting to, so. It's like very exciting sometimes, but the excitement can't last like the entire time you're engaged.
Yes.
So it comes and goes.
Yeah.
So you're like super excited, and then you're like stressed, and then you're like, whatever, I'm getting married, and then right, like you go through phases.
So the time that really hit me super hard was when just the other day, because I was actually feeling really stressed, like things had finally started to pile on me, and I'm like, okay, this is a lot.
Literally, Nicole.
And I was. And I was really like just stressed. And you started looking for the music that we were going to go out to. And the song, can I tell them the song?
Yeah, you can tell them.
So the song that we're going to walk out to.
I'm going to walk out to.
No. I mean, yes, that one, but that wasn't the
one.
one. Yeah, the recessional one, when everybody walks out together. The one that really hit, I mean, the first one hit me, but this one crushed me. She started playing, she was just looking for songs, and she played Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was so good, and I have already so many good feelings and associations with that song that I was just like, oh my gosh, you're going to be my wife, and this is going to be like a family and home and the whole deal, and it was powerful. It was so powerful.
Yeah, but the scariest part
Yeah, scariest.
The scariest part is when Edward's. Can I tell them about your the thing you want to do an episode on?
What do you mean, like when I'm obsessing over this? Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
Let's not say the name right now.
Okay, this was the scariest thing for me. The scariest thing for me was knowing we still haven't finished our ceremony. We're writing a lot of our own ceremony and vows and stuff like that. We haven't finished that yet, and we hadn't finished the projects video. And Edward came to me and he was like, I want to, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and like I want to start this other YouTube channel, and I have an idea for the first episode, and I want to go ahead and write that and get it out, posted before the wedding. And I was just like, like there's no time. When is that gonna happen, babe? When? And I was like trying not to like explode in my heart, because I was just like, we have so much left to do. We have not finished our wedding errands. We have not finished the ceremony, and we have not finished the video. When is this going to happen? So, realizing that I was looking at the man I was going to marry, and his needs have to be as important as my needs, and I don't know how I'm going to make that work. Like that was like genuinely the scariest moment for me. And I looked at him and I was like, okay. Can we limit it to, can we put some boundaries around it? Like, can we work maybe 10 hours on that, and then, make sure that we still get the ceremony and stuff done? And I know that marriage is going to be a lot of, like, negotiating and realizing, the other person doesn't exist just for your benefit. Like, Edward has his own needs and wants and things to do with his life, and he's not here for, me to be like, which kind of flower should we get? Or like, let's work on the show. And to be a true partner to him means sometimes I have to acknowledge, like, what I care about is going to get less attention because he has something that he needs to work on.
But the show is still important.
The show is still important, of course.
Also, apparently people are thinking the audio is coming from my laptop, which means we just don't know what's happening with anything. Anyway, okay. So that, by the way.
Yeah, you guys, if anybody needs to go, you can totally watch this afterward. I appreciate you guys showing up, but I know that this is kind of going long and stuff, so, yeah, you guys can watch later.
Yeah, then that's also why we're having you guys post in the submission thing, so we can get to a lot of questions, and even if you can't stay, we can still get to your question.
Cool.
Okay, let's try and do some more lightning round stuff.
Ooh.
Okay. Ready?
Alicia Law, submit that question because I want to answer it, but I'm trying to go.
Well, actually, Marcel asks, when you have children, do you think your kids will be more ADHD?
More, because
right?
they get like from both of us.
Yeah.
Marcel. So yeah, we do want to have kids. Probably like sometime next year we might start trying. I'm not sure. Like, but in the next couple of years we're gonna start trying to have kids and stuff, and that'll be a whole new experience for the show because I'll have to go off my meds to get pregnant, and so it'll be like ADHD without the meds. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna need more strategies, and then like having kids and dealing with that whole thing, and then having kids who might very well have ADHD because ADHD is genetic, and I have ADHD. Edward has ADHD. It runs in both of our families, so. Yeah. Very likely. Probably, I think I calculated like a 50% chance that our kid has ADHD. Luckily, we know strategies and stuff, so we'll be able to help, put into place some good routines and things like that. The only problem is, like, we have trouble with routines ourselves, so...
Yeah. I'm getting better.
You are getting better. Edward's getting so much better.
Because I had a huge issue with that. And that's also, by the way, like one of the things I'm working on trying to do that. Okay, we're still doing things. Kristen asks.
I can just imagine though. I can just imagine my kid going, "Well, Mom, I can't help it. I have ADHD," and it's just gonna break my heart. And I'm gonna be like, "Okay, you can't get away with everything though." Like having to find that boundary between like, yes, but you still have to be responsible for yourself.
So Kristen asks, can you guys do a newlywed game tag video? I do not.
We did do that. Wait.
What is a newlywed game tag video?
Yeah, what is a newlywed game tag video? Because we did the newlywed game.
Kristen,
only it was like the newly engaged game.
Kristen, submit that, and maybe we will see that as well. Like, put it in the question thing, and if either Superbrain or Duka or Master Cody will find it. But no pressure if you guys don't find it.
And guys, if you have questions, again, submit it through the link that Dukkha, Heart, and Superbrain keep posting. Submit questions through that link. I am reading the comments, but I'm answering questions from that doc.
Yeah, and by the way, thank you guys so much for not spamming your questions. You guys are the most awesome YouTube community ever. Yeah. It's just cool. Okay, so Kristen, we will Google what a newlywed game tag video is, but we did do a newlywed.
We're showing how not cool YouTubers we are by not knowing what a tag video is.
I might know it, but I don't know what the thing is. However, we have already done a video of you and I playing a newlywed type game. And it's good. You guys like it. It's super fun. Okay, so that was Kristen. Aaliyah asks, what flavor of cake are you getting?
Marble. I actually have a problem with sugar in that I will eat all of it all of the time. And eventually I realized one day while I was eating chocolate chip cookies for breakfast, I shouldn't have sugar. This is not working out for me. So Edward can, and he has, we're doing a cupcake tower with a bunch of different flavors of cupcakes. And he's very excited about it. That has been planned since like January. That has not changed.
I was like, well, because there's this place that we would get cupcakes, or it was even before then, wasn't it?
I started bringing you cupcakes.
She would every now and then she would bring me a cupcake, and I liked them so much, and they had all these delicious flavors that I was just eating one day, and I'm like, I don't want a wedding cake. I just want cupcake.
Yeah, so we're doing a cupcake tower, and then at the very top is going to be just a little small sugar-free cake that I can have. And
sugar-free cupcakes as well. We've got those as well.
We have a few sugar-free cupcakes, yeah.
So one of the things I like, because Jessica doesn't eat sugar, white sugar anyway, it's kind of an awesomely fun challenge for me because I get to try and remake all the things that she liked when she had sugar, but I get to remake them without sugar. So, like, what's the most recent, the ice cream with the thing where you mix the cherry stuff into it? What is that?
Oh, gosh.
It's like Cherry Garcia,
sugar-free,
right?
Like, oh, yeah. I used to love Cherry Garcia, and so he makes me, like,
sugar-free.
A similar version. But it's not really sugar-free because you use the cherry juice.
Well, the cherry juice. But
it's
that's
kind of borderline.
But honestly, that's not white sugar. That's fructose. Right?
Yeah, Rochelle.
It's not cane sugar.
We should talk with Rochelle. That's funny. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry,
I keep wanting to answer questions here.
Yep, here we go. Okay, so Aaliyah got what flavor cake are you getting? We're moving on to it was Aaliyah Steinmetz, by the way. Aaliyah, yeah.
Signing keyword.
Oh, here we go. Signing keyword asks, will Brandy your dog, be in your wedding? That would be so awesome to have a dog ring bearer or something like that.
Oh my God, yes, she will. Do you want to say this in sign language?
Oh, I can try. Yeah.
Okay, I'll say it in English. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Were you planning on saying another language?
No. I just didn't know if it was wrong to call English verse when you're like saying other than ASL.
No,
okay, cool.
Fine. ASL's fine. I mean, by the way, I'm going to be doing like basically like a pigeon slant English, so don't hate me, okay?
So yeah, so Brandy is going to be in the wedding. She's going to be the ring fetcher.
In the oh god,
she's going to be in the wedding party. She's going to be the ring fetcher. And Joe, who has helped out on the channel before, is flying out for the wedding. And she's going to be the hound maiden. So she's going to be in charge of Brandy and make sure that she doesn't run off with her rings. But she's creating like this whole wreath for her neck and a pillow with the rings on it. And she's going to hopefully come and deliver the rings.
Pillow, I don't remember the sign for that, but it's going to have...
This is so cool. You should sign at all of our live streams.
No, I really should not. I'm not good anymore. A long time ago, I worked as an interpreter, but that's been like 15 years. So, okay, that's signing cure. Let's see. Oh, of course, here's a good question. Grant Howlett asks, when is the big day? Aside, my wife and I were married on September 16th, 1995, which is also a Saturday this year.
Aw, congratulations. 1995, that's a long time to be married.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Good job, you guys.
Grant, the big day for us is Friday. It's September 1st. We really have to finish our vows.
We will. What's wrong?
By the way, we are basing, I'll tell you guys this, we are basing our vows on the relationship rules that we established, that we've created videos about them. Our top 5 relationship rules have been so critical to us in having a successful ADHD relationship that we're doing those 5 rules, and then we're adding a 6th one just for the wedding. Should we spoil it? Not spoil it.
Let's not spoil it.
Let's not spoil it.
Because
It'll be in the vlog.
Yeah, we're gonna probably do more drafts and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
when we get it right.
More questions.
Walking on Dirt says September 1st is my birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Walking on Dirt. We will probably miss it.
Yeah, it'll be our anniversary as well. Okay, I'm going randomly through all the fantastic questions. Okay, here we go. LexiGeek asks, home stretch, you're almost there. What is the one element of planning your wedding that was most challenging thanks to your ADHD brains? What were some of the lessons you learned that other brains might find useful when planning a major life event?
The hardest one was budgeting, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, because you can do things, they have a saying in Hollywood, you can do things fast, good, and cheap. Pick two. So you can do things fast and cheap, or you can do them
you can do things good. Yeah, you can do fast and cheap, but they won't be good.
Yeah, but they won't be good. Or you can do them, like, fast and good, but they won't be cheap.
Yeah.
So, like, trying to find that balance of, like...
So,
like,
and by the way, fast is usually, like, the prerequisite with an ADHD brain because you're doing things last minute, which you try not to do.
So I got fast, and so we had to decide, like, okay, do we care if it's terrible? Like, well, no, but I did try, I did think ahead to a certain extent, and I was like, okay, there are things that I'm going to need to order online, and if I do not want to have to pay for expedited shipping, I have to order them early. So I was able to get all of those things ordered early, which is really nice. But then there are other things like Edward designed our wedding programs, and we put them on fans because it's going to be outside and it's going to be really, really hot. So we printed them on tiny little fans, and not tiny, like the paper fans.
Yeah, they're about like 8 inches tall.
Yeah. And he was working on that till the very last second, you know, being perfectionistic about it, and did an amazing job, and they look beautiful. But they called him, and they were like, did you mean to misspell this thing? And he was like, yes, I meant to misspell it. And they're like, no, it's not going to be there in time for your wedding. So you had to pay for expedited shipping for that. So,
and by the way, the thing that they didn't get the misspelling is it was a joke about the Princess Bride, because on our wedding invitation, the cover of it says marriage, and the first definition is a blessed arrangement. The second definition is a dream within a dream.
Yeah, so on the wedding program it says welcome and introduction.
Right.
And they were like, you misspelled this? Did you mean to misspell it? And he was like, he was so nice. Edward is so nice to people on the phone, like so nice, like you talk to them better than you would speak to like your best friend, which is so great because it's a difficult job. No, you're like, oh, you're so kind, sir. I can't thank you enough for calling me to check in on that correction. No, it's totally fine. I was like, I would be freaking out. I'd be like, no, can you guys still get it to me in time? Like, it was supposed to be spelled that way. I'd like have a meltdown. But you're really good at handling it.
A lot of times people on the phone just get yelled at all the time, and I try to be different.
To the pain.
Let's to the pain. Yes, marriage. Hang on, let's see here.
This is fun. I like answering questions.
Yeah, very quickly. Okay, so that was. What are some of the lessons that we learned that other brains might find useful?
Oh yeah, and Lexi Geek had asked about lessons too. Okay, lessons.
So that is the question. That was still Lexi Geek.
Oh, okay. Lessons that other brains might find useful. Okay, yeah, that one I figured out before it became a huge issue. But yes, definitely take care of anything that you need to order online early, so that you do not have to pay for expedited shipping. That will save you so much. And honestly, order a lot of stuff online, because the only way that we were able to plan it in 6 weeks was I didn't have to drive from store to store to store to store looking for things. I could just sit there online and be like, yep, that's the one I want, delivered to my door. So we've had like little packages delivered every day, and sometimes it's just like little cocktail stirrers, but like it's saving us time. It's saving us from having to drive to the store.
And you can get them cheap on Amazon.
Or wherever.
Sorry.
No, yes, we get a lot of things on Amazon Prime. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah. 2-day shipping for an ADHD brain? I'm sorry, yes.
Right? Okay, so...
so, yeah, that was a lesson. And then the other lesson is, definitely decide what's important to you and, like, what's not important to you. So one of the things I had to realize was, you know what? I'm not going to have a lot of decorations because there are other things that are more important to me. I want professional photography, and we can't really afford a lot. So we got a professional photographer for 2 hours, and that meant we don't get to have centerpieces at the reception, and that's fine. Like having to.
We don't get to have regular centerpieces. We found out that actual centerpieces are way more expensive
than nacho
centerpieces.
We're having nacho centerpieces. But it's okay. Best. Like, if you decide ahead of time what's important to you and what's not important to you, then you don't feel bad or like you failed because you don't have money for centerpieces. You're like, that's not where I wanted to spend the money.
Yeah. And by the way, so we're clear, we're not buying, like, custom nacho centerpieces.
No.
This place just serves nachos.
They serve nachos.
So we're like, put them in the center. It's a piece in the center. Okay, so many questions. I want to try and hit as many as we can.
Yeah, Steve says we did mason jars with sunflowers in them.
Exactly. Let's see. Steve from Montana asks, which wedding gifts are you most interested in getting? This is not a trolling question, but this isn't like, hey guys, just in case you were wondering, post office box in the address.
Right?
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
What are you most excited about getting? I'm excited about. I haven't even thought that far ahead. I'm just excited about marrying you and like having this. Yeah, you're gonna be the best wedding gift ever. Yeah.
All I want is you and a food processor.
He really wants a food processor. No, honestly, like between the channel and him, I feel like I have everything that I need, and I'm really happy. So I love getting presents and I love opening them, but there's nothing I'm like, I hope somebody gets me this thing. Maybe the pans. We ordered like some nice pans. And
we didn't order them. We put them on a list and somebody else ordered them.
That's true.
Wouldn't that just be great?
We put them on our registry and somebody got us pans, so I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna start learning to cook.
Yeah. We both like cooking, but it's just, boy, if only there was an episode.
If only.
There was an episode
we had
about
filmed
ADHD.
An episode with Hannah Hart about
if
cooking
there was an episode
with ADHD.
about Hannah Hart that might be coming out after we get back.
Around September 14th.
Yeah, somewhere in that vicinity. Well. Okay. So let's see here. We're gonna do some more. How about we gotta answer this from Ducky. Ducky asks, how many ADHDers will be there, and will there be fidget toys?
So many ADHDers, and thank you for the suggestion. Who suggested that? That's brilliant.
That's Ducky. It's Rochelle.
Ducky, thank you. That's brilliant. There will be so many ADHDers there, like probably between his family, my family, and like the ADHDers that are helping on the channel that are coming, which would be Joe and Steve, not Steve. Steve, you're not coming, are you?
Joe.
You're welcome to come.
Joe,
Joe and Scott.
Yeah.
And me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a good 75% of the people who are going to be there are going to have ADHD. Also, I just naturally find myself like attracted to people with ADHD. So even friends that I didn't know had ADHD, like from work and stuff, I just naturally gravitate toward them, and so they're getting invited too.
I'm doing my I'm sexy eyebrows adjustment. You know, when you're sexy, you're very concerned about your eyebrows.
Are you? Is that a thing?
I've never been sexy. I don't know. Okay, no, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let's do some fast ones. Let's do some really fast ones really quick.
Okay.
Ready? Will you have kids?
Yes.
Yes.
We want to.
Yes. How many?
2.
Yeah, that was Rachel Shaw. Rachel? Yeah, Rachel Shaw.
Rachel Shaw.
Okay, hold on, Rachel Shaw. Let's do more. Okay, so that was Rochelle. Do we want to tell them where we're going on our honeymoon?
Yeah. So.
Okay, so
again,
Hannah
before
asks,
we were going to do a.
Hannah asks, where are you going on your honeymoon? And we do have to preface it by saying, the honeymoon and the dress are the only two things where we were like, oh, well, we're going to have kind of a big wedding, so we should. And then we're like.
Yeah. So Edward is taking me to, we're flying into Barcelona, and then we're taking a cruise through France and Italy right after the wedding. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited because we're going to go to a place where they're going to feed us and we can nap as much as we want. You're
going to sleep through our honeymoon.
They can't. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. It'll be the most expensive nap ever.
If you don't get off the boat, I'm still getting off the boat.
You're fine to do that. Wait. I feel like I've seen a lot of movies about the newlywed that gets off the boat and meets some Italian. No, I'll be getting off the boat then. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, so a different Rachel asked...
wait, this isn't a question. I just have to read. This is a sweet. Wife never got to wear her dress. Found out she was pregnant with her second. Technically third. We had already had twins, so all wedding plans went out the window and we just went downtown. Aww. That's the
awesome.
best reason to not get to wear your dress ever, though. That's so sweet.
So you can just tell that child, I guess the second, that they ruined your wedding for the rest of their lives. You can say that. Okay, that's something my mom would totally do. My mom would be like, "It was great, you ruined it. It was totally great." I mean, but she would say it in jest. Okay, a different Rachel asks, "What's your top tip for a relationship between two ADHDers that you know from early on is going the distance?"
Yep. Okay.
And she says, I'd be amazed if you asked this because I'm asking this at 5 p.m. PST. So she asked this an hour ago, but here we are answering it.
Here we are. Okay, so my top tip for a relationship between two ADHDers.
When they know it's going to go the distance.
Be honest.
Oh,
be
that's
honest.
the best
my
one.
Top tip, because there are things that both of you need. There are things that both of you struggle with. Just be honest about it and work it out. Because as much as somebody with ADHD can drive somebody crazy, like a partner crazy that doesn't have ADHD, you can still do the same with an ADHD partner, because chances are you're good at different things and you struggle with different things. So I'm better with time management. Edward's better with money management. We talked. We figured that out. Guess who's in charge of the money? Edward is in charge of the money. Guess whose job it is to be like, hey, we got to get this done now if it's going to happen in time. That's my job. And
she's really good at it.
Thank you. Yeah. I try. It's always tough to try and find a balance between this is what needs to happen and but I still respect that you are a different person and you can do what you want, but I'm just giving you the heads up. So
we should probably post in the description later. We should probably get the link to the relationship rules, or if you're watching, just make a note later. The fun thing to do is watch the relationship rules videos, because those are our best advice. That's the stuff that we've done to stay together, and it's been great. By the way, if you haven't submitted your questions yet, or you've been asking them in the stream, go to the link in the description. That's where you submit your questions so that our fantastic community managers can get them to us. Let's see. Also, I will answer one thing that's on the screen. We are not yet married. Getting married this Friday. Okay. Let's see. Keep going.
Scott, yes, put the relationship rules on the website.
Yeah. Oh.
That's appropriate.
All right, fantastic. Let's do another question. Let's see. Okay, we've Kendra, you asked questions about the details of our wedding. We did answer that earlier, but I see your question, so you're not ignored. Kira has asked a gajillion.
Let's answer them.
So let's do super lightning round.
Okay,
I ask you answer.
Kira, this is super lightning round of your questions.
You're going to get all your questions answered, Kira. Ready? Here we go. Because Kira submitted at the link in the description. You too can join the Pool Club at the link in the description. I would like to start a night club called the link in the description. Just go to the link in the description.
Oh, that's okay. So smart.
Here we go. Ready? Here we go.
Only then we will be sending all these people to your club.
So this is going to be super fast. One sentence.
Okay.
Get it out. Ready?
Yep.
Kira asks a bunch of questions, and they begin with, when did you start planning the wedding?
As soon as I got engaged, and then 6 weeks ago when I remembered we were getting married in 6 weeks.
Anything you almost forgot to purchase or book?
So many things.
Almost didn't buy my suit.
Almost didn't buy his suit. My earrings. That's my earrings. I barely got those in time.
Did you manage to send the invitations on time?
No.
So her follow-up question was, how did you do that? And the answer is no.
I texted somebody the invitation today. I texted because it would not arrive in time.
Here's the thing. Before we even sent out the invitations, we're lightning round, but I have to say this. Before we even sent out the invitations, I just started calling people.
He did, and I was like, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to send out the invitation, then you're supposed to do the thing, and you're supposed to wait for them to respond, and then if they don't respond, then you call them. And he's like, I'm calling them.
Here's the thing.
Is there any reason why we can't call them? And I'm like, decorum?
Paper invitations are a thing from a time when there was no phone. So you sent paper invitations because you wanted to let people know, not because paper invitations. If that were true, if it was a tradition thing, you'd send invitations by carrier pigeon. Okay. Do you have a theme in your wedding? Kind of. Not a super big theme, but the idea is that we're starting off on the adventure of being married. Mm-hmm. That's kind of our theme. And lots of stories.
Lots of stories, yeah. Stories about our relationship, stories about the people in our lives and how we all came together, and how, the main thing that I think people will take away from it is that marriage isn't something that you do alone. You do it supported by your friends and family, and you'll need the strength and skills of others to make it work, because no man is an island, and I don't think any relationship is an island. They're hard work, and sometimes you need to have a friend to go to and be like, he's driving me crazy, what do I do? And then they'll be like, well, from his perspective, you have to consider, and I'm like, thanks, Joe, thanks.
Yeah, you can see who does that work. Okay, real quick, was there something you didn't need for the wedding, but wanted it, and it was worth buying it?
What?
was there something that you didn't need for the wedding, but you wanted it, and it was worth buying it?
And it was worth it?
I mean,
Like things that I didn't need?
I mean, I know what I think, but I don't know if it's...
We'll tell them. So this was really important to Edward.
Oh, wait, actually, wait, hold on. Who's watching the stream? No, I know. Who's watching the stream?
Oh, we can't tell you because people don't know. It's a surprise. We'll tell you later.
Because it'll have to be in the wrap-up video because, some people are probably watching the stream that are going to be at the ceremony and we can't spoil it.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
But other things, no, I kept it pretty simple, pretty basic.
Real quick, how did Edward propose?
He proposed by pretending, I don't know if your mom is still here or she had to take off, but let's see. Okay, so I had to work New Year's Eve because I wait tables, and it's not a fun shift. You don't make a lot of money, and you're there all night, and everybody else is like, ringing in the new year and kissing their people and all that, and it's just not fun. So it was like a rough night, and I got done, and everybody stays at least till midnight. And what we were going to do is we were going to go to a brunch the next day. And that was really nice, and I was really looking forward to that. So I went home, and Edward told me, like, as we were going to sleep, and it was so late that, to wake up in time for brunch, and I had to work the next day, too. So we had, like, a limited period of time to go to brunch, and I needed to get to sleep. So I'm like, I'm already only going to get 6 or 7 hours of sleep. And he's like, do you think we could make something for my mom in the morning? Like, can we film something for her? And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I was so looking forward to brunch, but he was like, it's really important to me. I really want to do this for her. And I was like, you know what? If it's important to you, we'll do it.
And by the way, that's why proposals happen. Because you're the kind of person who's like, you know what? I'm tired, or I want to go somewhere.
Can you imagine if I was like, absolutely not. This is my one chance to go enjoy myself. Like, I was a jerk.
But I mean, at that point, I'd be like, I wouldn't have. If you were that person, I wouldn't have been considering the ring.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
So I was like, okay. So I went and I got dressed, and I put my makeup on, and I sat on the couch, and like I was prepared to do this video for his mom. And I don't even remember. Like, you sold it pretty well. I don't know what you thought. What I thought the video was.
I just told her it was going to be like a hey, catch up, let you know how things are going in the New Year video. It was like really.
Yeah. And I didn't understand it, but I was like, it's important to you. Let's do it. So I sat down to do it, and he started bringing out things like Cheetos, which are like symbolic in our relationship. Early in our relationship, he brought me Cheetos after I said I wasn't going to date him. And I thought they were like friend Cheetos. Like, okay, well, we're cool. I get it. We can't date, but here, I still like you as a friend. And like 3 hours later, as he was debating me to death as to why we should.
You need to give some context, because now I just sound like an argumentative stalker.
No, he was like, I liked him a lot, but I was like, I need some time to myself, and I want to figure out who I am, and all this stuff. And maybe in 2 years we could date. And he was like, no, but this is why we should date now. And he just like was making all the arguments, and I was eating the Cheetos, and he's like, he was finally frustrated. He's like, why do you think I brought you Cheetos? And I was like, I thought these were friend Cheetos. And he goes, no, they weren't friend Cheetos, they were romantic Cheetos. But I wanted the Cheetos still, so I was like, I guess I have to at least consider it.
I have to at least hear him out.
Because otherwise I'm like a hypocrite eating the romantic Cheetos when I'm not interested in romance.
You already like him.
I did already like him.
She just had reasons why she was like, oh, we can't do this, I gotta da-da-da-da, and I worked to talk her out of that.
So once I saw the romantic Cheetos, I was like, this isn't for your mom, is it? And
no.
He like brought out the ring and proposed and everything, and we have it on video.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll put that in part of the wrap-up.
Part of the vlog.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, Bingo asks...
They're probably so sick of hearing about our relationship. Do we have any questions that are not about the relationship that I can answer for them?
I'm going to do this one more, and then we can... Because, I mean, this is literally the wedding edition of the Q&A. So I kind of feel like if we start answering questions about politics or,
That's a good point.
Yeah,
we will... When we get back, we can always do... we could always do an episode that's a live stream where we answer other questions about ADHD and stuff. I know it's been a while since we've done one of those, and we have to do a 100,000 subscriber celebration anyway. But yeah, I guess nobody's gonna like look an hour and 20 minutes into the the live stream about our wedding for the answer about how to tackle their disorganization.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And by the way, the feminist in me needs to say one small thing, which was I did not like hound Jessica.
He respected my decision.
Yeah.
He just wanted to make his argument.
Yeah, all I was like, I just want to make an argument, and initially, initially I just accepted your answer. I didn't even ask to make an argument. But then I came back with the Cheetos, and I was like, I just want to make an argument. And if that doesn't work, I'm fine. I'm fine. But
oh yeah, and so yeah, Super Brain AK is she knows the whole story. She's seen this video, and at some point he brings out these Cheetos, and he's like, I want to let you know up front because there was some confusion last time. These are matrimonial Cheetos. I'm going to ask you to marry me. And he warned me. It was the sweetest thing.
Mm.
Anyway, and I was like, well, make your argument. And he did. He made an argument for why I should marry him. It was the sweetest thing.
So, okay, Bingo asks, how did you two meet?
Oh, we met at this actor/writer/director workshop where,
In Los Angeles.
Where writers/directors would bring in their half-finished or first draft screenplays, and actors would act them out on stage so that these writers could get a sense of how their words sounded coming out of somebody's mouth. And it was just like a very simple black stage, and we would like mime a lot of stuff. And so Edward had a beautiful screenplay that he'd written, and he was presenting it. And I had been in this group for a long time. I had been in this group for a long time. He, hands down, I know I'm biased, but I felt this way before I started dating him, the best writer there. The best writer in the group. And his words were just beautiful. And, I'm kind of a writer too, but I've never really written full-on screenplays before. I was so impressed with him. But we didn't start dating until like a year and a half later. We were friends first.
Can I add something to the engagement story?
Sure.
There's a really interesting side tangent to that, which is when I proposed to her, one of the things I did is I read to her.
Joshua's here. Hi,
Yeah,
Joshua.
hey Joshua. I read to her a journal entry that I had written 9 years before, and it just described the day I was having. And I literally said, I'm working on a script that I think might launch my career. And it was the first draft of that script. Like, it was the first raw draft way back in the day. Like, I put it down for a while. Yeah, it was really not good back then. But I wrote, so what it was, the journal entry was a letter to my future wife. And it said, here's all the things I'm doing. I'm working on the script. I think it could be really great. Where are you? You're missing everything. And I held on to that journal entry for 9 years. I dated a lot of people. Did not ever bring that journal entry out, ever. And then I think like 6 months into our relationship, I started telling you, I got a thing I want to show you, but I'm not going to show you yet.
He did. Oh my gosh, that was 6 months in?
Yeah, I know.
Aww.
I was like, I think.
I knew like after 3 months of dating you, I wrote something in my iPhone. I was like, I'm gonna marry this guy. I knew.
We get along. Okay, real quick, more questions. Favorite, Sam Lee asked.
Oh my gosh, Sabrina says there has to be a Cheeto bar at the wedding. There does. Mom, can you write it down?
Yeah.
That's such a good idea. Thank you.
Cheeto bar has to happen.
Cheeto bar. How do we not have? Yes, and we have to have fidget toys. Can you write that down too?
All right.
Am I ordering?
No. I have plenty of fidget toys.
Okay. Also, I'm gonna if you want to scroll up, just move this part.
By the way, hi guys. I'm seeing more people that I know and more new names too. Hi,
Hello.
Hi if I don't know you yet, and hi Gary.
Okay, here we are.
Hi Delirium Zero.
Here we are. Sam Lee asks, what was your favorite and least favorite aspect of planning the wedding?
Wait, a unicorn says they want us to answer more questions.
Oh, I know.
You just asked me a question.
We need to go more. We need to go more. Sam Lee, what was your favorite and least favorite aspect of planning the wedding?
Favorite aspect of planning the wedding was actually favorite and least favorite were both finding the dress. Like, it was at once like really exciting and really frustrating. Yeah, I would say they were both the same. Like, there were times when I was like, oh my god, I love this. I get to pick out the dress I'm going to marry him in. And then there were other times I'm like, can people just, like, take this part of this dress and this part of this dress and just, like, and, like, I wish I knew how to sew. I would just do it myself. Yeah.
I think my favorite part has been the part that we can't spoil.
Okay.
It's going to be in the ceremony. And my least favorite part has probably just been, like some of the design work, only because it was just taking a long time. Like, I loved the design that we got, but it was just like, I just need to be done with this so we can move on. Okay, another question. Okay, here we go.
Wait, the castle asked something on Google like 100 times.
How do you feel I asked on Google like 100 times. The castle.
Yeah, I will answer this because if you ask on Google 100 times and we missed it, I
No.
apologize.
Oh, here's why. No, the castle. The reason why is that we're doing wedding questions.
Oh, because we're doing wedding questions. That's why.
So that's why if it hasn't shown up on our list, that's why, because we're doing wedding questions right now.
Yeah.
But
I will tell you really quickly. This isn't saying that this medication is better for anybody but me. Is the best medication for anybody but me because every brain is different. But I personally take Vyvanse. And I feel like myself without a 30-pound weight attached. I feel like me, but productive. That's how I feel.
Ironically, I also feel like myself without a 30-pound weight.
You've lost 30 pounds.
I have. I've lost 40.
Edward lost a bunch of weight, and not just for the wedding, just in general.
Look at my face.
Yeah. He's going to look so handsome.
There's less face than there used to be. Okay. Mirtha, forgive me if I misspelled that, or missaid that. Mirtha Kem asks, how do you deal with restlessness from either one of you? Is that an obstacle in your relationship? And if yes, how did you overcome it?
Restlessness. I mean, the restlessness is there's a lot of different types of restlessness. But I'll tell this story because I thought it was sweet. I have restless leg syndrome.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm super restless. And
I sleep like a log. I don't move.
I usually sleep like a log, but if I am not sleeping like a log, my legs are restless.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know, but restless leg syndrome gets worse when you're anxious. And so when we were first starting to date, and, I was spending the night and stuff, I would be anxious. And he once, he knew that there was, this yoga pillow thing that helps me. I would lay on it and twist a certain way and hug it, and somehow that would, twist, I don't know much about science, but it worked. It just
you know a lot about science, but it's in a specific
in very
field.
Specific field.
Yeah.
It calmed my nervous system down enough to where I could get to sleep. And I didn't have that pillow at his house. It was in my house. So he went and got me one of his couch cushions, and he gave it to me to use. And he said, if you want to just keep it by the bed, that would be fine. And it was the sweetest thing. It just felt like such a big sacrifice to take a piece of your couch and say it can just live here next to the bed so that whenever you need it, you will be comfortable. So that was the way that he dealt with that kind of restlessness.
I thought you were going to tell him about the dance.
Oh yeah, and that's his other thing. He makes me feel less weird about it because if I'm kicking my legs and stuff, he goes and it wakes him up. He goes, 3 a.m. dance party, and he just starts kicking his legs with me, and it's just a dance party at 3 in the morning.
And then you kind of get it out. You kind of feel
it's just great.
Okay, more questions. Let's see. Michael G. Austin, I'll get this one. Michael G. Austin asks, he's sure that he definitely wants to, and he's sure many other brains and hearts would like to see the wedding. Are we going to be streaming or recording it? Would you be able to see pictures if not? We are going to have pictures taken. We are not going to be streaming it. We're going to try to record it, and if all that goes well, we will probably put together like a vlog. Yeah, like one of our little road vlogs.
And Liv, I do see you. Yeah, ADHD and anxiety. Yeah, it's not the focus of this stream, but if you message me on Facebook or Twitter, I will try to answer that. And that is in the works. I'm going to be doing an episode on that.
And so, also to clarify, yes, I also have ADHD. Mine is inattentive. Hers is the combined thing. Okay, moving on. Let's see.
Also, somebody's saying I can't see a donate button. I don't have that set up. Maybe at some point we should do that because that would be helpful. I appreciate that you want to, but yeah, we don't have it set up. This is just us hanging out.
No, right, I mean if you Patreon, just go to Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to donate Patreon, even $1 a month, it really helps, and it gets you into our Discord chat room as well.
Yeah, and if you do the $5 a month, the only reason I say this is because I'm not trying to push the $5. It's just there's so many cool behind the scenes things that we put out that but you have to do the $5 a month to get there. It's just really cool and very worth it.
To get the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to pitch it, and then I'm like, oh, wait, right, that's the $5 a month. But it's really cool. But the Discord chat is also incredibly awesome, and it's just full of cool brains, and everybody talks.
It's like this. A lot of people hang out.
So if you want to, that's a really good way to kind of meet other brains. Anyway, let's see. Oh, what part of the wedding are you most excited for? That's Mary asks.
I'm excited to walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to walk down the aisle to the song that I picked out, and see Edward standing there waiting for me at the end.
Trying not to cry.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry so hard. You guys know me. I cry. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
That's probably the best one. Okay, and mine would be, I think right after the kiss when they announce us and then we walk.
Yeah?
Yeah, because that's when everything really starts. All this stuff. It's just the prelude. It's the prelude.
You just want to kiss.
No, I had that.
Oh, I totally stiffed you on
Yeah,
that kiss.
you did. You just lip blocked me. Your forehead
I'm like,
just...
we're in public.
We're in public. Hi, I kiss her because we're engaged. Oh, good gracious. Somebody just said something about how they...
Oh, per week?
You do not have to do per week. Well, just, figure out whatever the monthly is per week and do that. You don't have to go crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to do that. I think it just bills once a month, but thank you.
Lord Ventimore. Hello, Lord Ventimore. I know you from the Discord. Will either of you bring a fidget toy to the wedding? I actually am bringing my fidget toy.
I bought him a fidget toy. I bought him... We gotta find it. We lost it.
I think it's at Hannah Hart's place.
I'm
not joking.
Hannah Hart.
We showed it to Hannah Hart, and now it's gone.
It's a worry.
Hannah Hart!
It's a worry. It's totally not her fault.
It's not her fault.
I think it was in your pocket.
I'm pretty sure.
I did the laundry and your black one fell out, so I think it was in there.
So maybe it wouldn't.
It might be underneath the dryer.
All right, we'll
We
have to
should
look.
check. We're normal humans. So yeah, I got him a worry stone. It's a white worry stone that he can just easily fit in his pocket.
But the one I was bringing was the black one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd bring the
I
white one
didn't
too,
know
but
that.
I don't know where it is.
Fair point.
The black one is a stone that I pulled out of the Pacific Ocean off the beach, and it was a rough stone, and I started sanding it, and it's very smooth now.
I will probably wear a fidget spinner because it would be weird to hold a toy in my wedding dress, but spinner ring, not a fidget spinner. Not a fidget spinner.
You
the
just come down,
light up one.
You come down like a Dayglow ninja. Exactly right. They are basically ninja stars, but more obnoxious, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay,
Somebody says please don't swear. If we swore, did we swear?
Did I swear?
If we did, I apologize. We try not to do that.
Did I swear?
I don't know.
I try not to swear on the
Apologies if we did.
Yeah, that's sometimes I swear in real life. Like that just happens.
But yeah, spinner ring is what I'm gonna have. I wear a ring on this finger that I could just spin with my thumb, and it's really discreet. So that's probably what I'll have.
I feel terrible. I think I'm almost certain. I said. That's kind of a... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's do... If you could only have one...
Can you imagine if the moderators could, block us?
We just get... the channel goes quiet for a while. Stream goes quiet. All right, here we go. Lauren asks, if you could only have one, hugs or kisses?
Oh, my gosh. Hugs.
Hugs.
Hugs are the best.
We hug all the time.
Yeah.
We kiss a lot, but, the kisses are more intentional. The hugs are we need this to live.
Yes.
Let's see.
That's true. We actually have a name for Edward. He's going to be my husband for wife.
That's right. Not just for a little while, but for wife.
Husband for wife. We're so disgusting.
Ed asks, in a new relationship, how do you balance hyper-focusing on your partner without smothering them with attentions?
Oh, wait. I was reading the live stream. You have to read that again. But,
okay.
But just to let you guys know, we're going to jump off the live stream at 7 because he has still not gotten his suit tailored. He has to make it to the tailor by 7:30. So we're going to jump off at 7. I'm sorry. 7, which is in 25 minutes.
Yeah, 25 minutes. Sorry. Ed asks, in a new relationship, how do you balance hyper-focusing on your partner without smothering them with attention?
Yeah, that's tricky. Edward and I intentionally both said, okay, we always dive headfirst into relationships. We are going to take this one slow. And because we said we were going to take this one slow, we probably did it about a normal speed. Yeah. Maybe a little fast, but it felt like we were going slow. We intentionally pulled back a lot. And we have a kind of a sub rule, one of our relationship rules is try, but the sub rule to that is don't try too hard because at the beginning of a relationship, it's really easy for those of us with ADHD to give 150% and burn out. So we had a rule that was okay, give 70%. So if either of us felt like the other person was doing too much, and we both are like that, so we could recognize it, if they were too focused on us, if they were giving us too much, we would say, you're doing too much. And it was up to the other person to say, no, I'm actually totally fine with this, or, yeah, you're right, I should pull back a little bit. I'm giving too much. I'm giving more than I actually have to give. So that was really helpful. It was manually slowing it down. We both called each other out, okay, we've been hanging out too many days in a row. We're starting to fight. Let's take a break. Let's not take a break like that, but let's go home for a little bit, right?
Letting your brain cool.
Yeah.
letting your brain cool on the other person for a little bit is like nice because, and you'd be amazed, like you'd be squabbling, and then you just go away and do some other stuff for a while,
Yeah.
and you come back, and it's like, oh my gosh, I love you so
And
much.
I think it keeps it so that you don't completely burn out on the relationship. I've been in a lot of relationships where like after a few months I'm bored because like I feel like I've gotten everything out of the relationship I can get out of it. Like I've gotten the I love yous and the ahs and the fireworks and the I've just milked the relationship for everything it's worth. Like because you hyper focus on that person and it feels good and you want to make them happy and all of that and you just burn out and then in my experience like you lose interest. So by intentionally slowing ourselves down, I think we maintain the interest over the long haul.
You said sub rules. I want to hit them with two.
Okay.
The first one was do 70%.
Yeah.
And when we talk about 70%, what we mean is ask yourself, if whatever I'm doing right now, if I had to do that every day for the rest of my life, would that be an acceptable amount for me to do? Or would that feel like, oh my gosh, that's way too much? If you find yourself saying, oh my gosh, it's way too much for me to do every day, 9 times out of 10, you probably shouldn't do it any day, other than like special occasions or stuff. But basically, you want to moderate how much effort you're putting in. And secondly, kindling. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we would talk about like, don't say everything you feel about the person. Keep a little of it back. Like if you love them, tell them you like them. I told myself before I told her I loved her, I would have to think I love you authentically like several times before I would actually say it to her because I wanted to make sure it was like real and solid. And I thought of it probably 6 to 15 times. I know that for sure. And I was like, okay, I can't wait anymore. It's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to address this. People are asking if they can ask other questions. If you guys have questions that aren't related to like ADHD and relationships or the wedding or our relationship or whatever, probably better to hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, and then I'll try and do a live stream that will answer like general ADHD questions in the future. But since this is the week of our wedding, and like we're gonna answer those later. So.
I'm just going to answer this really quickly. Kate just asked, are either of you using fidgets right now during the live stream? No, but if you could see our legs. You've got your hair. But before you did, our legs were both going at the same time. Okay, let's see. Elizabeth asked, Jess, what does your dress look like? And congrats. Hope you guys have an amazing life together. We have an amazing life together now.
I can't tell too much about the wedding dress because Edward doesn't. Yeah, it's white.
It's white.
Edward hasn't seen it, but But yeah, it has a really pretty train. I feel like I should post pics on Instagram and just not let you on my Instagram.
I don't go to your Instagram anyway.
I don't either. Maybe I'll post pictures. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. I'll post pictures on the Instagram.
I mean, I'll avoid
Edward will not be able to see them.
I will avoid it.
Yeah.
I will avoid it. I wouldn't even want to go looking. Another question comes in from Elizabeth.
Totally fine. Thank you for calling us out.
For what?
We try to keep it clean, so she felt bad about the swearing comment.
Oh no, Star, that's totally fine.
We'd rather know.
Yeah, I just felt bad because I didn't know. I usually try to stay pretty PG.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
but
so
you're totally fine.
I am. I don't use my Insta for very many things right now. I am totally gonna do Instagram pre-wedding photos.
Cool. So you guys are gonna get spoilers that I don't get. Please go and enjoy. Lillian asks, how do you think your relationship will change once you're married, if it'll change at all?
We had talked a lot about this, because Edward's like, look, I'm okay with marrying you, but I don't want things to change. Are they gonna change? And I'm sure.
And to be clear, like we already live together. We already our finances are shared.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm like, look, I don't want you to sleep in the same room as me. Like it's not like that.
Yeah. So we're like, can things not change? And I think that's probably a fear that a lot of guys have is like, oh God, we're gonna get married and suddenly she's gonna think that she owns my life or something, and or become a nag. And we've had a lot of conversations about it. I'm like, I think that the reason why women end up like kind of nagging is if they are somehow put in charge of the entire mental load of making sure that the household runs, then every time anything needs to happen to keep that household running, she's got to ask the guy for help or do it all herself. And if you do everything yourself, that you get resentful over time. Like you're doing too much and the other person isn't doing as much. So we've talked a lot about how do we share that mental load and how do we make it so that things can stay the same going forward and it doesn't become one person's responsibility to like manage the house and kids while the other person does something completely different. And I don't know. I think that I think that relationships do change a little bit once you get married, but only in the sense that things get more serious in terms of like now it's partnership, and now you might try having kids, and then you really depend on each other in new ways. So we don't want anything to change, but I think inevitably it does, and it's kind of up to you to make sure that they change in a positive way, as opposed to in a way that one of you is not going to be happy with, or both of you.
See, I actually think I disagree with you on that.
Disagree. Go for it.
I disagree with you in that I don't think things are going to change that much for me. I hope they're not.
Well, I don't think they change right away.
Okay. I'm going somewhere with it, and what it is that I'm kind of already there. Like, in terms of, like, it's you and me, we're a team, we're going to figure everything out together. Like, I'm already there.
That's true. We're already moving in that direction. We're already working those things out, and we already have worked a lot of them out. So, yeah, that's true.
So, in that case, I'm like,
that's true.
I mean, to me, it feels... My brother told me one time, he got married before me, and he said, he's my younger brother, but he said, honestly, a really good wedding, a good marriage should be a piece of paper. He said, and he's like, if you guys aren't there already, the wedding and the marriage will not get you there.
I don't understand the piece of paper thing.
It's like, the marriage just needs to be a piece of paper. The actual, like, the change, we're married versus not. It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah, that lets you into the hospital.
Exactly right, exactly right. Like if you guys haven't already found your way to that kind of tightness, or not to say that we can't go closer, but if you haven't already sort of found your way there, the marriage will not put you there.
Yeah. Max says, I emailed them also and they never responded. Did you email me while I was like off social media for a bit? Because if so, resend that email, and I'm sorry, I will respond to it this time. I'm sorry about that. Things got overwhelming.
Oh, here we go. Kyla, did we already answer this one? I don't think so. Kyla asks, what are important things you've learned when finding a partner when you have ADHD?
And a unicorn said that too. I'm sorry. I'm going to go through my email addresses, or my emails. I think that with everything going on with the wedding and TEDx and all of that, like, I fell behind on my emails, but please email me again, and I will be sure to respond. I'm really sorry that I didn't get back to you. I get a lot of messages, but I really try to answer them.
And sincerely, do not be nervous to email us, because like we're just like regular people, and we also really suck sometimes at responding to email.
Yeah. Well, kind of. That's like it. But yeah, guys, if anybody messages me and I don't respond, like, feel free to email me again, because sometimes I get bombarded and it gets really overwhelming. That doesn't mean I don't care, and it doesn't mean I don't want to respond. It means, like, I just can't handle it that day, and then if it gets buried, I might not get to it. So please don't hesitate to message me again or email me again, or try a different couple places. Try email and Twitter or something. Yeah. I promise I will try my best to get back to you. And if you haven't heard from us, it literally just means we got super slammed. Yeah. And like there's no like questions that we're getting where we're like, don't answer that one. Yeah, we get to everything that we can. So it just sometimes things just get swamped, and sometimes honestly you just get like brain tired, like you can't read any more emails. Let's see other ones. Oh, here we go. Hi, HY, hi, says, who was the first to mention marriage before the proposal? I don't know. I don't know. Aw, that's a good answer. I don't either. But we used to have this thing, Jessica would always be talking about what we'll do in the future. So when we first started dating, she would talk about stuff we'll do when we've been together for 6 months. And then when we were 6 months, what will we do in a year? And here's what we'll do when we're married. Here's what we'll do when we have kids. And we came up with this thing, which was stop running to the carnival. You're running ahead to the carnival. We're both going to the carnival. I also want to go to the carnival, but I walk slower than you. So you're running ahead, and you're just spoiling it for me. You got to come back to where I am. Yeah. Let's see what other questions. Okay, so will there be Cheetos at the wedding? Someone else asked. Yes, there will. You guys should have planned our wedding. Yeah, you guys have been like, what do you guys think we should do? Have totally done that. Here's a question that's sort of related to relationships. I think we should do. Catherine A., how do you tell your boyfriend or girlfriend that you have ADHD? That's a really personal decision, and it depends on how open that you are about it in general. But I would say as soon as you're comfortable with bringing it up, when you know that you kind of see the relationship going somewhere. Like when you're starting to have the talk of like, you know, are we gonna just date each other instead of dating other people? Or are we gonna, you know, are we gonna try and make this work? Like, are we gonna, you know, those kind of conversations. Like, I think that's probably a really good time to bring it up generally. If you're wanting to test the waters before then, you can instead of saying ADHD, because not everybody understands what ADHD is, and they might have like ideas about what it is that aren't even true. There's so many like stigmas and misconceptions and stuff. You could just be like, you know, hey, would you give me extra heads up? Because, you know, as to where this is or what parking is like, because I tend to, you know, I don't know, whatever it is. Like, I tend to have trouble getting places on time, and I want to make sure that I'm there on time or whatever. Like, if you start mentioning, like, little ways that your ADHD affects you without actually saying ADHD, that might help them understand you and things that you struggle with without having to put a label on it. I actually had a talk about this with my research consultant, Patrick, and he said, you want to do it, you do want to do it early in the relationship because ADHD does have such an impact on relationships that you want the other person to understand what you're going through, but you don't want to do it so early that that's like, they haven't gotten a real sense of you as a person, and so that's like, just one of the things they label you with right away, which is like, you know, oh, they have brown hair and blue eyes and ADHD, and that's that person, right?
Yeah.
Instead of getting to know you as a person, they have this concept where they don't really understand you yet. They just have this preconceived notion of what ADHD is. So it's like kind of a long-winded answer, but I would say as soon as you think the relationship's getting a little serious.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Well said. Let me grab another one here very quickly. Let's see.
And then we got 12 minutes.
Yeah, we have 12 minutes.
You have to get to the...
Yes, I need to get me to the tailor on time. The 12 minutes. So if you have questions about our relationship, ADHD and relationships, anything about us that we haven't already answered, in the description below. Come to my nightclub. Link in the description. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so let's get the next one here. Oh, here we go. There's no name, but they say, how do you not distract each other? I live with 2 people who have ADHD, and this is a huge problem. Come back! Oh, come back to the screen!
Okay, so Edward's pretty good at not distracting me because he works really independently. I, meanwhile... I distract him constantly, and I didn't realize this was a thing because he's so good at handling it. Like, if I text him, he texts me right back. If I interrupt him for anything, he's like right on it. It took me almost 3 years with him to realize that's actually distracting to him. I think it's mine. Okay. Yeah. I thought it wasn't. I
didn't turn off my phone. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. I didn't do mine either. You're just more popular.
Unlikely.
So I didn't realize how much I was distracting him until we started really paying more attention because, like, as we've been trying to get videos out on time, like, before it was like, you know, he had a second full-time job, and it was impossible for him to keep up with the videos and stuff, but as the schedule has shifted and he's taking on more of the show stuff instead of his other job, and he's working just freelance now, he's doing a lot more for the channel, and I'm noticing, like, things are behind schedule and things aren't like rolling the way that we need them to roll. So we've both been very conscious of like, how do we fix this? How do we keep both of us on track? How do we?
And this has been an insanely educating and enlightening experience. Like, I've had to do a lot of internal work to figure out the things. I mean, I basically had the experience of finding out you have ADHD and having to go through the process of recognizing, like, oh, I am not good at this. So, yes.
So as we've been both kind of, like, aware of that, I've realized, like, how delicate his attention actually is. And I've learned I can ask him this right now, but then he's going to spend the next 2 hours trying to fix this for me. So if it can wait, it should wait. Like, if he's in the middle of something, I just try to be aware of where his attention is and where it needs to be. And if he's doing something that's, like, easy for him to focus on, then I can interrupt him and he'll be fine going right back to what he was doing. But if he's doing something that took him 2 hours to ramp into and he's in the middle of it, that's not a good time to talk to him about something. So I just try to be aware of and respectful of what he's doing and whether now is a good time to interrupt. But it took me a long time to realize that was an issue.
I mean, it was me too. I didn't know either.
Yeah. Meanwhile, with him, like, if he comes to me with something and I'm writing, I'm like, I just know myself so well. I'm like, can't right now, writing.
With 8 minutes left, we got lots of questions, so I'm going to try and hit them quickly.
Okay.
Rachel Shaw asks, have you used the 5 rules with past relationships?
No,
Nope.
we invented them for this relationship.
Yep. And they basically came out of all the stuff that we used to do or we used
Or
to
had
struggle
trouble
with.
with,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Okay, I'm not even
Yeah, they were a
preview.
result of our past relationships not working out, like, and kind of falling into the same patterns over and over again.
Yeah.
And we were like, we don't want to do that again. If we're going to do this, let's do it right.
I remember, like, right before I started going to therapy, because I had to go to therapy for anxiety and depression, I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I literally had this thought to myself, like, if you have been in 5 relationships, and it seemed like all the women were the same woman, you're the one who hasn't changed. Marlene asks, is emotional impulsivity something you deal with in your relationship? If so, how do you handle it?
What?
Marlene asks, is emotional impulsivity something you deal with in your relationship? If so, how do you handle it?
Yeah, it is. For sure. And we handle it pretty well. We have a rule that we fight fair, and we will call each other on it if we are not fighting fair. Emotional impulsivity, like when you cry spontaneously, like, oh my god, this made me so happy. Like, it's not as big an issue, right? So when we think of emotional impulsivity, we think of like frustration and anger and, having a short fuse and things like that is where it can get destructive. So like, we had a big blowout fight the other night, and
which does happen in really
happen.
awesome relationships. You will have really hardcore fights
Yeah.
sometimes. I mean, like, not violence, but
No,
you'll just be angry at each other. You'll be like, no.
Yeah. But we have rules. We don't call names ever. And if we do, like one time I was like, you're being a jerk, and he's like, no name calling, and I was like, I'm not calling you a name, I'm telling you what you're being. And he was like,
yeah, that was
a little borderline. So
yeah.
I had to admit, all right, fine, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how quickly you diffuse an argument when you start going, you're not playing by the rules, and then you get into like this headspace of, was it by the rules? And you get into kind of an analytical headspace,
Yeah.
and that helps. But yeah, it's really about like knowing what our boundaries are for when we get upset and fight, and respecting them. And there have been a lot of times, and Edward is the kind of person who will like sit there and talk something out like until it's resolved.
Like to a disgusting level. Like
to the point
my
like,
family does not want to talk to me about this.
To the point where I'm like, it's tomorrow now. Can we stop?
It's tomorrow.
But I usually have a shorter limit before I get frustrated because I'm trying to express what I'm trying to express, and on top of that I'm upset about something, and I end up like breaking down and crying out of frustration or anger or whatever. And at that point I'm pretty good about going, you know what, like I love you and I want to figure this out, but I can't right now. We are not hearing each other right now, and I will walk away.
There's something for guys out there who, I mean, I have ADHD, but this even works if you don't, but you're female, your significant other who is female or just emotional, if they cry a lot, as a guy, and I think probably would work for women as well, it can be very easy to feel very guilty because your partner's crying and you feel like, oh, I did that, it's my fault. With ADHD, emotional impulsivity is part of that. And you kind of have to go, they're crying right now, and this isn't totally on me. Like,
yeah,
you have to just let them cry.
Yeah, you don't have to fix it. Like, I wouldn't recommend continuing the argument.
Agreed.
Because at that point, your emotion is just clouding your judgment. You're not able to really hear the other person. Like, you might say things that you'll regret. So if one person is yelling or crying, it's probably a good sign that you both need to step away for a minute. In my experience, and calm down before you continue the conversation. So yeah, I get frustrated. He gets angry.
Yeah.
It's part of the relationship.
Just do it. Artie asks, how do you give our partner we're going to go quick because we have 5 minutes, friends. So we are not going to take any more questions, but we have several that we're going to answer. So if you got them in, we're going to try and get as many as we can. 4 minutes now. Artie asks, how do you give your partner enough attention? I get way too distracted by life around me that often my partner feels left out. What do you do?
Honestly, I think that you just have to let them know, like, hey, if you need attention, just tell me. because there will be times that we just get sucked into things.
Yeah, explain what you're doing in your brain.
Yeah, just explain, like, oh, I may not even realize that you're feeling neglected, so please just tell me. Just tell me. So, like, I will tell Edward sometimes, like, hey, we need a date night. Like, I'm feeling like we need some relationship time. And if I don't say anything, he's not going to know. And he might go 2 weeks working on a project and I'm feeling neglected when all I have to do is go up and be like, hey, take me to dinner.
Yeah, and I'm always up for whatever. It's just, you don't necessarily know. The key thing with that kind of stuff is people get their feelings hurt when they think they're not important enough to be considered. And if you can let them know, like, this has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
If my house was on fire, I could
Yeah.
still be distracted by something.
But if it's like an ongoing problem, you could also set yourself reminders. Like seriously, in your phone, just set a reminder every once in a while to like text her.
Yeah, I have a terrible memory. For some things. So whenever Jessica, well, not every time. I can't ruin the surprise of this, but whenever Jessica tells me something that she likes,
There's
I
a
will usually
surprise?
take a note of it. No, I just don't want you thinking like every time you tell me something.
Oh.
Every time when she says things that she likes, sometimes I'll write them down or send an email to myself so that later, if I'm going to get her a gift or want to do something nice for her, I know the stuff that she likes because then I don't have to remember it. It's not wrong if you can't remember or if you don't remember to pay attention. It's wrong if you don't do something
About it.
to compensate for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strategies.
Oscar asks, how would you handle a situation where you like your partner but are too scared to tell them about your ADHD or other issues?
I would say the same. Like, test the waters. You
Yeah.
don't have to say ADHD. You can just be like, sometimes I get disorganized and I could use help with that, or whatever it is. Like, just kind of dip your feet in the water and see how they respond. If they are kind and understanding about one issue you present, then they might be able to handle. If you say you have ADHD.
Okay, also, first, fantastic. Rochelle, your fave, says, did you have a bachelor or bachelorette party, things like that?
So we're going to do that the night before the wedding, which is super smart, I'm sure.
Great. I think it's great. We used
not
to
going
do
to be
bachelor parties the night
Yeah.
before, and you get really drunk, and we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. We're just going to hang out. So basically, we have a lot of people coming into town, so all the girls are going to come to my house, and our house, and we're going to, like, set up the charcuterie platters for the cocktail hour and finish the last of the decorations and like drink wine and
Yeah, I was not comfortable with this.
Watch romantic comedies.
Yeah, I was not comfortable with this when I heard like, oh, you're having a party and doing chores together. But
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
She was like, no, it's gonna be the fun kind. So I'm
and
like,
Edward's gonna go out with the boys. He doesn't.
I don't even know what's happening. My best friend Matt Wallace, his books are on sale at Amazon. Sin du jour. That's promotion for him. I totally just did. His books are great. That was shameless.
Walking on Dirt says, I got so trashed the night before my wedding. How did that turn out? I want to know.
Well, his name is Walking on Dirt. I'll let you decide.
Her.
Or her. Yes, exactly. Katie, my sister, asks, these are just the ones that are coming in. Katie asks, best tip for stress-free wedding planning? I can answer that.
Get yourself a Katie.
Get Katie. Yeah, that's what you need. Joanne, I believe she has 2 questions.
No, seriously, like, lean on people. Like, ask for help. Ask for help. Because people like planning weddings. It's exciting and fun for people to participate. Ask for help.
Okay, last 2. These are our last 2 questions, and then we are out, friends, because it is 7 o'clock our time, which means almost time to go. Joanne, she has 2. Do you wake each other up when you can't sleep? She says that I toss and turn and wake up my husband, who is a light sleeper.
We're both deep sleepers, thank goodness, but Edward is on a different sleep schedule than me right now, and so sometimes he wakes me up, but then I can usually fall right back asleep.
Do I wake up?
Yeah.
Sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, because,
I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
You seem pretty dead to the world. But that also means that I get, like, the morning, so she gets...
A lot of the time it's because he gets very loud when he's talking on the phone, and he leaves all the doors open, so he'll be like...
That's possible.
It'll sound like he's 2 feet away, like...
I'm in the other room, but I'm too... Yeah, I had the same problem when I did stand-up, is that I can't get my voice to quiet down even when there's a mic. I'm like, you're going to have to turn this mic down. Okay, last question from Joanne. Do you guys have any fun traditions, holidays or otherwise?
Yes, ask me some questions on social media while Edward does that, and I finish cleaning my house and stuff.
Yes.
I will be answering questions on social media, too.
Last question from Joanne, same person. Do you guys have any fun traditions, holidays or otherwise?
Traditions. We didn't do it last year because we got really busy, but we usually do an annual Christmas party.
Yeah, that was fun. But we're having a wedding instead, so no Christmas party. You know what I want to be a tradition, but it just hasn't. I'm hoping it'll work. Oh, it's still gonna happen. That's gonna happen, and then after it's over, I'm gonna.
Calendar, you can still see it.
I'm gonna be smooching her some more after the stream is over. That's just a natural part of it.
No, you're getting your suit tailored.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The tradition that I want.
This is part of not distracting each other, is getting each other back on track.
Yeah, this is very true. The tradition that I want is I want trick-or-treaters.
Oh yeah, we should have
want
them this year.
trick-or-treaters so bad because I like playing and hanging out with kids. And so when they come to the door, you get to do like 2 minutes of kid stand-up, which I love. And they have to listen because you're giving them.
Oh my gosh, are you gonna make the kids listen to your stand-up?
I'm not gonna do stand-up, but you know what I mean. Like you just get to joke around with them. You get to be silly. I don't mean like literally kids stand-up. I'm not like I walked into Barney. Oh God, Barney's 30 years old. No one knows. No, there's no child alive that knows who Barney is. Anyway, that is everything. That is everything. That is the end. I had him cut off the questions. And also, before we go, there's a couple of things we want to throw out. Thank you enormously to our new volunteer community manager, Superbrain, the new volunteer assistant community manager, Doka Hart, and also the sort of impromptu additional crowd manager today, Master Cody. Thank you guys so much for taking care of all the questions and making it so smooth for us. It was great. Be on the lookout for Superbrain's fairy icon. She has a fairy icon. I don't have it here that I can show you, but it's a really cool blue fairy, and she's carrying How to ADHD books. So if you see her icon in the threads, that means she's lending her knowledge or her wisdom. So you should definitely check that out. You guys have been so awesome.
Amazing.
It's so wonderful to get to talk to you.
And the next time I see you guys, we will be married.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hang on a second. We'll be right back. Okay, that is about everything for us, friends. You guys are just great. Anything else you want to say?
Just thank you guys. Thank you for your support and your love, and thanks for sitting through 2 hours of us talking about our relationship.
Yeah, and we are going to be, technically, we're going to be off because we're getting married this weekend, and then next week we're going to be doing the honeymoon thing. But when we come back, which should be, the next episode should be on or around the 14th.
Yep. Fingers crossed. We get back on the 12th. So.
And it's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Check out Instagram.com/howtoadhd probably for Instagram. You can also get to it through the website, howtoadhd.com. I will be posting sneak previews of wedding stuff there.
Oh, I should be posting photos on mine too, but I don't think mine's just got weird stuff on it.
No.
Yeah.
I'll post on mine.
Yeah.
And yeah. Just call me Gary says don't be late. Oh yeah, you gotta go. All right.
I gotta go.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye, Brains.